show who not bumbo cloth rampant. You know me? I am the original Jamaican Dandana. You understand? Jamaican road boy. I don't want ramp with bumbo cloth me. Come on. I murder people for fun. Murder on a bumbo cloth for fun.
TV, I'm about to get ready to do a very deep aspect. I already did the 1980s drug game breakdown. Now I'm about to tap into the whole aspect of like rap. You know what I'm saying? I really want to just talk for a second. And when you understand the same ones who gave us the cocaine is the same ones who gave us the drugs. I mean, the same ones who gave us the drugs and cocaine is the same ones who gave us the gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Remember back in the day, rap used to be used for like upliftment and block parties and, you know what I mean, things of that nature for community purposes. And then as you notice, they took that aspect. It's actually dude from Bone Thugs and Harmony had explained how the British had took that aspect and they took it to the Jews, and they literally started using like rap to bring forth the vibrations. Because I have a video that you definitely got to check out. I did it with the sports and geometry when I think I said sports Illuminati exposed video, and I explained how like this geometry and stuff matters. You know what I mean? And it's deep because hip hop, actually music, has the highest level of mathematics, the highest level of vibrations, and music also, it literally controls the heart rate, the metabolism, and the brain. So I'm gonna delve into this. I'm actually gonna do a Chicago breakdown too, a full Chicago breakdown. But just to get to the point, as you see, we got your boy Eazy-E and Jerry Keller. And you already know Jerry Keller was a nothing but a Jew. You know what I'm saying? And notice how he brought Eazy-E on. He brought on NWA. They just give us that story, but them dudes were agents, man. And I'm going to show you how. I'm actually going to play a clip and let your boy Eazy-E talk, and I'm going to chime on in.
Suge tried to destroy my record company.
Look at him like he's reading. Just look at him. Pay attention to his eyes.
With the help of others, Dre. So right now we're getting everything back together and we finna come out, fully loaded.
You see, I like he's reading. Look, he talking about shit now. Look at his eyes.
Of others, Dre. So right now we're getting everything back together and we finna come out, fully loaded.
Look at dude was literally reading the script, man. It's right here, the whole aspect of the Bad Boy. Notice the East Coast was the Bad Boy Records. It was the baby. You know what I'm saying? And Death Row was the West Coast. Because as you see, all that represented, that East and West represented nothing but the Gemini. That's why Pac and Biggie both were Geminis. But that's a story for another day. You can look all of this up. It's all on Industry Hoax. You can look into that. But I'm just going to delve into this aspect. But notice how you got the boy, and then he becomes Death Row and destroyed. You know what I mean? He undergoes a strong shock. You get where I'm going with this? Full grown, like you basically went through a whole shock. You know what I mean? You grow up traumatized and destroyed. You see that leading you to death. That's what that whole logo, that's what them two logos was about. Hint the whole aspect of Bad Boy, being a rebellious child, growing up to be destroyed and led unto death. And when you understand the whole NWA aspect, which is so deep about this, NWA, when you look at Ice Cube, that's why Ice Cube was the writer of the group. And I'm going to get into Dr. Dre in a second. Quick, I already did a breakdown, but I'm just going to reiterate on it. But Ice Cube, when you understand that whole aspect of the Ice Cube, which is so deep, because remember, Ice Cube was Islam. And when you understand that the stone of Mecca, you know what I'm saying? Which is so deep because when you understand the energy of Saturn, it's crazy because all Ice Cube represented was nothing but the Saturn energy, bringing nothing but the dark energy. That's why they had Ice Cube and Ice-T out at the same time, because that represents nothing but the cold brimstone, because in darkness is cold. You know, I broke this down on my whole aspect of the Ice-T and Skittles with Trayvon, the Get Out breakdown, it's all in there, but all on my channel. But that's what this whole group represented, was bringing. That's why they called them the godfathers of gangster rap, because they brought that dark energy. You know what I'm saying? They were nothing but plants, agents. You get what I'm saying? Nothing but straight up. Look how Saturn's rocks is known as the black planet, the planet of darkness and destruction and hidden wisdom. The cube, you know what I'm saying? And notice how he was linked up with Louis Farrakhan, aka remember I was talking about the whole aspect of the Lewis stone, Psalms 118:22, the stone that the builders reject has now become the cornerstone of the foundation of the world. They reject that stone, you know what I'm saying? And what's so deep too, on his song My Summer Vacation, Ice Cube say St. Louis dudes want their corner back. You see what I'm saying? How the foundation of the world became a cornerstone, which is nothing but the Messiah. Notice how he say the St. Louis want their corner back. Like this stuff gets that deep, man. You know, that energy that they bring. But I'm actually gonna delve into Dr. Dre too, because remember he had that aneurysm, and all of that is literally the Zeus worship. That's why he had it. When was this, like early January, I believe, and he had it like right before the time of the Texas storm and all of that. That was all Zeus. I got that on my Texas breakdown with the winter storm on part 1, part 2, and I explained that about the whole Zeus aspect. But when you understand, Quincy Jones had one in 1974, and Dr. Dre had his in 2001, and you know that's 47 years apart. You know, the 47 degrees of masonry, you know what I'm saying? And that was nothing but the aneurysm was nothing but representing nothing but the Zeus headache of the goddess Nike, aka Athena. You know what I'm saying? But Eazy-E was born September 7th, which is so crazy because Pac allegedly dies September 7th. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And they tied up real close because, like, I think Eazy-E's career stopped 90. You know, he died 95, but like once he stopped, like once like they, you know, they heat went down, NWA went down as like the main group. Remember, Pac rose up. It's all you can go look all of that up with the industry hoax revealed and everything. Shout out to that channel. But basically, as you see, Warren G. Notice he got the regulate G. What G is he talking about, man? He's talking about nothing but the Masonic G. That's why they say I'm a G and this and that. And notice how he got the angle of the masonry. You see how it's 21st and Lewis Street? You know what I'm saying? That's what he's using right there, 21st and Lewis. Because all that represent the 21 don't represent nothing but the Great Rebellion. And the Lewis stone, like I said, the Lewis aspect is them literally mocking the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Remember I just broke that down about how the Messiah is the stone they reject, the builders reject, the Masons reject. Remember I just talked about Ice Cube said that they want their cornerback. But as you see, which is so deep, because as I looked at that, I said that's crazy because remember Warren G and Nate Dogg had the song Regulate. And remember the Above the Rim with Tupac, that was the movie Above the Rim. Nate Dogg and Warren G's song Regulate was on the soundtrack. And you know that don't represent nothing but the Above the Rim aspect literally represents nothing but the high priest, the Urim of the high priest, the breastplate of the high priest. You know what I'm saying? That's some deep stuff, man. Because they basically saying they're higher than the Messiah. They build higher. You know, hint the Illuminati Masonic pyramid. And you know Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, what was it? Snoop, Dre, I believe it was Dre. I think Dre went in too. Dre, Snoop, Warren G, and Nate Dogg, they joined the Marines straight out of high school. You know what I'm saying? And they were basically, I think Nate Dogg was like a 3rd battalion, which is nothing but like a counterintelligence battalion. You know what I'm saying? Which is deep because you learn how to counter, you know, intelligence, co-intel. You know what I'm saying? It play like you can play that into that role. And what's so deep about it too is Snoop Dogg's dad was a Vietnam veteran. And I believe I think he was a part, if I'm not mistaken, he was a part of the Panther 21. I might be going off. But I know he was a Black Panther too. And how Pac was a Black Panther and how Snoop was like he brought Pac to death row. Come on, man. Like all this stuff is scripted, you know what I'm saying? And not to digress, But even like I've been talking about these labels, the same ones that gave you the crack and everything are the same ones that gave you these record labels with revolutionists, with gangster rap. And you see, this was literally the man who signed Bob Marley. And that's when Bob Marley really became the conscious aspect of Marley. And look at it, Bob Marley didn't even know who shot him. Pay attention to this.
Battle. Man start to run and it's ease up, you know.
Where were you hit?
Eh?
Where were you hit?
Me?
You don't even know where he got shot.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. You don't even know where he got shot. That was not to digress. I just want to elaborate further on my point. You know what I'm saying? But as you see, too, you see this with, like I was talking about with Warren G, the whole aspect of that, you know what I'm saying, of nothing but the Masons doing their building. Pay attention to this. Come on, man. These people evil, man. Like straight up, like no lie to you, you know? And it's all in our face. It's like it's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really no way around it. Your boy Bobby SHMURDA too. This is another rapper right here. You know, it's a lot of symbolism surrounding this man. But I'm actually gonna play a clip and I'm gonna chime in.
It came from like, you know, when we was getting money, you gotta keep quiet.
You hear that? Keep quiet. All of that is all about taking the oath, man. You feel what I'm saying? As you can see, many celebrities doing the you know what I mean? That's all meaning to be quiet and keep the oath. And it's so deep because as you see on Rowdy Rebels and Bobby SHMURDA computers, look at all the symbolism. Look at the 666 and everything being thrown up, man. You know what I'm saying? And you already know Bobby SHMURDA, what tripped me out about him was he got signed after his song, you know, Hot Boy went number 6 on the Billboard back in 2014. And you know how he just got released from jail after 6 years. You know what I'm saying? And what tripped me out about that too is because you know how they released him at the end of February, which is Black History Month. And when you understand the god Februs, aka Pluto, that's basically just Pluto. He was the god of riches, money and gold, and death. And he was connected to the underworld, just like Pluto. And what's so deep too is how Bobby SHMURDA had 11 violations while he was in jail. That make you just wonder, like, how did he get out early, man? He had 11 violations for drug possession, fighting, and having a shank. Like, come on, man. And you already know the number 11 is very sacred to the occult because that really represents their aspect of rebelling against the 10 because, you know, the 10 commandments, the 11 represents the rebellion. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that got me too is how he released February 23rd. When you add up February, which is the second month, you add it with 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, that it literally equals 11, man. You know what I'm saying? And his father too, what got me about that is how Bobby SHMURDA went to jail at 21. And his father went to jail at 21 and they say he never met his father. You know what I mean? It's so crazy about that. That's so weird how he went to jail at 21 and his dad went to jail at 21. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. And notice how, like I said, the 21 too is nothing but a number of rebellion. But actually, you can look at 21 as well as 777. You know what I'm saying? Represent a high level of completion. And you know how he's born August 4th because that's literally like the Leo, how he got released from prison. You know what I'm saying? It look like the lion being released from prison, man. You get what I'm saying? And you already know the aspect of like with how Satan is referred to as the lion with wings. You get where I'm going? Like, this stuff goes that deep, man. It's crazy because Rowdy Rebels' dad was saying all these boys are good guys. They don't have no charges. Ray. But notice, going back to the numbers again. Remember during that time with GS9, they had 24. Listen to these numbers. All Masonic numbers. The 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. Bobby SHMURDA got released after after 6 years, and his Hot Boy song went number 6 on the charts when he got signed. And notice how he had 24 shootings and the 1 murder. But then when you look at that too, Bobby and Rowdy Rebel, and then they had 13 other gang members. You know what I'm saying? Number 13 is a Masonic number of rebellion as well. And you know how he's a G Stone Crip. You know what I'm saying? That G, when they be talking about that G, man, it's all Masonic. Because the stone that they talking about is the Masonic builders. Because when they talk about the stone, they literally, like I've been talking about this for a minute, like the Lewis stone. They reject the Lewis stone, which represents nothing but the Messiah being the foundation of the world. The headstone of the corner of the world. They reject that stone and they build through masonry, rejecting him and building up the Illuminati Masonic pyramid. That's all it's meaning. You know what I'm saying? That stuff crazy, because you know how he literally got signed to Sony through Epic Records, you know, and Sony is real big in a lot of conspiracies, man. Like, come on, man. And then actually the song called what's his name? D-Wag or whatever his name is, when they did a song about the sack with Bobby SHMURDA back in, I think, 2014. And it's so crazy because look, he say, I'm smooth and I'm in Kane, and word to the set, I'm dying a stone. Like, come on, man. What stone are they talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff, it goes that deep, man, how deep these people be tied in. Right quick, because I'm going to delve into 50 Cent. And what's so crazy, I'm actually going to play some clips and everything, breaking all this down, but what's so crazy is how 50 Cent went to boot camp for 6 months. He went to shock incarceration boot camp, where he earned his GED. Meaning basically, like, you know what I mean, he graduated out, you know, basically got to be educated, you know what I'm saying? Because look at this. It's so deep that this happened. Because what really got me going about this is because he went through the shock treatment. You know what I'm saying? And really deep about that, because when you understand that aspect, that's literally nothing but the programming. Then after that, he came out as 50 Cent. You get what I'm saying? But I'm actually going to play a clip right quick, because it actually, when he went through boot camp, it happened with Kelvin Martin too, when he was doing a lot of murders. The real 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, who he's based off of. But I'm going to delve into this and I'm going to chime in. I want y'all to bear with me now.
As well. Now literally a trained killer. 50 Cent was even more dangerous. With his back to the wall and a new bag of tricks he picked up from boot camp, he was much more proficient with a firearm and more willing to take the life.
Listen to this. He went to boot camp too.
New bag of tricks he picked up from boot camp.
You see that? How 50 Cent whole life is literally mimicking this man. Because Kelvin Martin was crazy. He was shot 24 times on 9 different occasions. Remember, 50 Cent got shot allegedly 9 times? I'm going to get into that later on. But he was shot 24 times on 9 different occasions and stabbed several times. And allegedly, he murdered 30 people, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because, remember, 50 Cent was stabbed up by Ja Rule crew. You remember that? Hey, you remember how in the movie Get Rich, Die Trying, when he was with Terrence Howard in jail, he had got stabbed? You know what I'm saying? And notice how this stuff is so deep, because when you look at this, Get Rich, Die Trying came out in 2003. Remember that. Kelvin Martin died at 23. You know what I'm saying? And he used to go by the motto of Get Rich, Die Trying, because he was known, I think he had won like $500 off like a 50 Cent bet playing dice games. He was a gambler too. But as you see, he died at 23. 2003, Get Rich, Die Trying come out. Take away the 2 zeros. Bam, that's 23. You know what I'm saying? And then you see he got the broken glass and he got the cross, because that represents nothing but the rebirth, and that represents nothing but the whole aspect of literally worshiping the G, like Jesus, G, the mate. That's why he had G Unit. You know what I'm saying? But just to keep this thing rolling is crazy, because 50 Cent allegedly gets shot 9 times. but the report says he actually got shot 3. And I think his baby mama said that too, that he was lying about getting shot 9 times. But I'm going to keep this thing rolling because as you see, you know how 50 Cent was with the Supreme team, with Supreme and Griffin, all of them guys? But it's so crazy because Kelvin Martin rode with the Supreme team. As you see, he's on the Paid in Full, back of the Paid in Full cover, and this is the Supreme team. You know what I'm saying? Kelvin Martin was with the Supreme team. This is in the 80s. 50 Cent wasn't around really pushing around, like really, you know what I mean? On that level, from the story we heard was like what, late 90s? This is Kelvin Martin's grave right here, 50 Cent on it. And that's why 50 Cent had the power of the dollar and he did the Get Rich Die Trying, because that represents nothing but the duality, because Kelvin Martin died in the aspect of trying to get rich. But notice how 50 Cent was the one who got rich. You get where I'm going? It's the duality aspect, the rebirth, death, and rebirth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to keep this thing rolling. Just pay attention to this.
Supreme or Murder Inc. was involved in the plot that this man, Darryl Baum, a.k.a. Homicide or Homo for short, was the trigger man. Homo, a known killer and rumored to be a paid hitman, ironically was a friend of the original 50 Cent.
How much of a coincidence is that? And like I said, how 50 Cent was known to rob and kill, man. He was a dangerous murderer, one of the most dangerous murderers out in Brooklyn at the time in the 80s. And notice how 50 Cent had the In Too Deep, on the In Too Deep, which was literally about an agent, a cop, infiltrating a drug dealer. He had the song How to Rob. That was the song on the soundtrack. Come on, man. So who is this Curtis Jackson guy? You know what I'm saying? And as you see, too, 50 Cent was born July 6, 1975. And Kelvin Martin was born July 24th, 1964. You know what I mean? So they were born 11 years apart and 18 days apart. Read that. Hear that. And they both were born in July, so they both were Cancers. Hint, you know, a Cancer sign is nothing but the duality to 6-9, like the Gemini. And you know how, what's his name, Kelvin Martin had got shot, and actually was trippy, is because Kelvin Martin had got shot and he had survived the shooting. And then he came back even more dangerous. You know, he started killing and everything after that until he eventually got taken out. But he had got shot up too, and then he survived. You know how they had that whole theme of 50 Cent getting shot 9 times? It happened May 24th. And hint that whole aspect of May 24th. You see what I'm saying? Because all this is and all that represents is nothing but the Gemini. That's the Gemini season, a.k.a. the duality. You know what I mean? Hint, like I just said, how 50 Cent, the Kelvin Martin, the old gangster from the 80s, had got shot and survived, and then he came back killing. Notice 50 Cent had got shot, survived, and he become a basically millionaire. And notice how Kelvin Martin, like I said, was shot on 9 different occasions. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent shot 9 times. Kelvin Martin shot 24 times. 50 Cent shot on May 24th. Pay attention to all of that. Like, this stuff goes that deep, man. And 50 Cent actually had got shot at 11:22 a.m. They say 11:22 a.m. When you pay attention to that, 11:22 a.m., that's nothing but duality. Hint, the 11, 1 and 1, and the 2, 2. You get what I'm saying? Like, this stuff goes that deep, but I'm about to take it even deeper because he got the show Power coming out with the Book of Canaan, and I'm going to get into that in a minute, but let's just let this play. Look at how he said, you already know how my stuff ended, but let me show you how it started. Listen to this.
You already know how my shit ended. This is how it started.
You see that? And notice how I got the left lane must turn left too, because all of that's showing you they don't want to deal with the right side. They want to go left. They want to do their own, do what thou wilt. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to that. And listen to this right here.
Most notorious gangsters. Armed with a bulletproof vest and an arsenal of weapons. Armed with a bulletproof vest and an arsenal of weapons.
Armed with a bulletproof vest and an arsenal of weapons.
He killed, robbed, and extorted many of Brooklyn's biggest hustlers.
You hear that? Listen to this. Kelvin Martin was raised by his grandmother And so is 50 Cent. But just pay attention to this.
24, 1964, to a single mother who was at odds with Kelvin's father. 50 Cent was a precocious child with a penchant for reading. At the age of 8, Kelvin's mother penned a note to the youngster and sent him alone on a 2-hour bus ride to the home of his paternal grandmother.
You hear that? Listen to this.
50 Cent was born Curtis James Jackson III on July 6, 1975 in Jamaica, Queens. His mother, Sabrina, was just 15. He never knew his father.
I asked my mother one time, we was in the park. I saw a little boy throwing a football back and forth with his father. And I said, why I don't got no father, Mom? And she said, because you was special. He was born to the Immaculate Conception.
They always got that same story, but just no father. Just pay attention there. I already said how he went through the shock treatment. You know what I'm saying? They came out as 50 Cent. But just listen to this.
Like Jesus, boy. Now go play.
Sabrina moved out of the house shortly after Curtis was born. He was raised by his grandparents.
Listen to this one more time. Same story, man. The same story.
To the home of his paternal grandmother.
You hear that? The same story. Like, come on, man. And you notice how what tripped me out too is how Terrence Howard and Taraji, you know Terrence Howard on the movie with 50 Cent. Remember he was on the film with him, and remember they both got out of jail together. You know what I'm saying? And what tripped me out about that is how Terrence Howard and 50 Cent, notice how Terrence Howard got the Empire and then 50 Cent is on Power, and how they both, you know, basically get out of jail and they both are reaching status. You know, you get where I'm going with this. Like this stuff, how it's literally playing, it's really playing out. It's crazy how they do this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And notice how 50 Cent and Taraji was going at it about, you know, the show Power and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But you remember 50 Cent on Power played Canaan. When you understand that Canaan, it literally represents nothing but the cabal of Satan worshiping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff goes that deep, for real. Both of them represent the 50-50. You get rich, you die trying. It represents the aspect of fate, man. I know about Rick Ross and Ricky Ross, but what I found interesting is how January 26th is when Rick Ross was born, like Rick Freeway, Ricky Ross, and then the rapper was born January 28th. You know what I'm saying? They born 16 years apart. You know what I'm saying? And what tripped me out about that is how Ricky Ross basically, like, he went to jail, I think, was it 1996? Yeah, 1996. And what got me really rolling about that is how you know, Rick Ross, the rapper, was basically a correctional officer from December 95 all the way to June 97. And right after that, he was, you know, he turned 21 in 97, and then he became the rapper. You know what I'm saying? And you know about like in 2010 or 09, 2010, yeah, 2010, July 20th, 2010, he released the Teflon Don. You know, it had songs on there like Freemason when he said he know the codes that you can't crack. You know what I'm saying? And how on July 20th, that ain't nothing but the high grand climax day, the summer solstice. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it gets that deep, man. Like how they literally how they literally play the role of the rebirth. You know what I'm saying? Deep about it too is like another quick thing before I end this. You know how Rick Ross, how his house was literally used for Coming to America, which came out 33 years later. And how Rick Ross is obviously a 33rd degree Mason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the stuff they do, man. You feel where I'm going with this? Like, it's literally the stuff they do, you know. But I'm actually going to end that right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Stay tuned. Much more is coming. Peace.